Hello, I'm Dr. Sam Hancock of the Emerald Planet and Emerald Planet TV. We come to you on a week-to-week basis from Washington, D.C. in the United States as we look around the globe in 144 different nations, looking for those 1,000 best practices, the technology, services, and products that are making a difference as we move through the 21st century. And as we have a planet of 9 billion people by 2038 and possibly 12 to 13 billion by the end of this century, how are we going to be able to take care of all these people on planet Earth? And that's what Emerald Planet's all about. We come to you looking at the solutions, the best practices from around the globe as we create the Emerald Planet. Hello, welcome to the Emerald Planet. We're making a difference as we move through the 21st century. And seeing the long-term impacts of climate change. We're glad to have you. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for being with us as we're looking around the globe and how we're going to take care of all the natural disasters and the pandemics that are now scourging and stomping their way around the globe. And so I have someone who is with us that's going to be talking about how we're going to address the future and not just the current or the past. Karla Ballard Williams, she's the CEO of Ying, and she's going to tell us about this very exciting financial platform, but also she's part of the Institute for Sustainable Development of Washington, D.C. And she and I met there several years ago now, and it's a wonderful organization. They have many wonderful members, just like Karla. Karla, tell us a little bit about Ying, what it is, and then we'll start showing our viewers some of the slides that you've shared with us, and they'll see the dynamic of what's going on with your organization.
Sure. So thank you so much for having me, and it could not be happier about a show like this at this time, especially for our healthcare workers that are on the front line. This is fantastic that you're able to inform many of us to continue to be, inspired and to look for the future. So Ying is a platform. It's actually now been around for the last 3.5 years. We are a peer-to-peer skill sharing platform. And I like to say that we are the Visa. If you think about when Visa was created for banks to transact digital transactions, we're the Visa of the care economy. So a lot of our focus is on making sure that if groups that you're a part of have the opportunity to tap into each other on demand with the ideal that you can bank on your network.
And I think it's fantastic. You sent this over to me, and I really like this screen. And it shows a room full of people, very diverse, but equally excited. And tell us about the excitement for Ying and why our particularly young people, but even the oldsters need to be in this, are so excited about it.
Thank you for bringing that up. I mean, one of the key things that gets us excited every day is that we are literally helping each other out, whatever community we might be a part of. It could be our HOA, it could be the really amazing music group that we're a part of, or our faith-based institution. And we're there for each other as much as humanly possible. And, with the pandemic, it has certainly brought that home a lot clearer than before. So why I think millennials are excited is because of this whole idea of tribe. There's the idea that social networks have really died down, and Dr. Robert Putnam from Harvard talks about that. But I think what's interesting when you start to look at millennials, they're really socially connected more than ever before. And a lot of that is through technology and mobilization. So when you think about Venmo and how popular Venmo became and did an incredible exit, eventually with Braintree and PayPal, we're really following up on the fact that there is untapped capital, real beautiful relationship capital and social capital within our networks. And we want to introduce that to the financial industry.
And that's something that's very important. If you look at places like India, even China, Brazil, South Africa, Uganda, all these far-flung countries and communities, one of the things that we miss as far as the matrix for the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, and others, is this social capital, and it's huge. And if you think about the country of India, 500 million agriculturalists, most of them in the gray market and
Mhm.
trading, peer to peer. None of that really shows up into the economic numbers of a place like India. So the magnitude of the economy is many times what it is. But
Mhm.
looking at your mantra here, tell us a little bit about this mission statement you have. And I put it right next to all this exciting young energy in the room.
Right. So, one of the key things that I like to say is when you think about the favors we do each other or the gift economy every day, a lot of it is peer to peer. A lot of it's deep rooted within our grassroots organizations and the social networks we're part of. So, we wanted to create a platform technologically. And what this does, it allows for you to upload all the skills that you'd like to offer to your community and then all the skills you're actually looking for from your community. We've created an automatic match that allows for you to essentially access this incredible untapped, resource for a TaskRabbit like experience. So that's the other piece. I always say if Venmo and TaskRabbit had a baby, her name would be Ying. Be, you know, because we
Very
do have,
cute name.
right? We created a peer to peer, but also org to peer as well. So organizations can also be on the platform, and then they're identified obviously as a resource as well to our communities. And so we get skills from organizations as well, and skills that organizations are looking for. And we really believe, especially because of the pandemic slowing the economy down, many people would love to just start working and feeling valued. And even if those hours just can be tracked through our relationship with time banking and using time credits as a way to track that, that still can get us moving again at the very least.
Yeah,
So we've
and not only moving, as the fact is, Carla, people need to have never stopped. That's just like Emerald Planet. Two weeks out before all of this started happening, we started planning for if it ever does slow down, we actually want to sprint through this whole thing, and that's what we've been doing. So if you slow down, then you're really losing out because you're losing momentum, motivation, the connections, that connective tissue that we all have through our sphere of influence. And so what you're doing is you're giving an electronic way for people to come back in that. But I like this here, this Stephen Jobs. Tell us about that.
mm, oh gosh, this is one of my favorite quotes. My favorite things in life don't cost any money. It's really clear that the most precious resource we all have is time, and I absolutely resonate with that. And a lot of people, can say now more than ever that we have time, but it's what we do with that time that matters. And that's part of our belief system. Every
Right.
piece of minute we have, we can be productive, making an impact.
Yeah, and the one thing I learned from a Tenrikyo pastor in Japan many years ago, he says the only true inventory we have in life are our friends, family, our connections. And that's absolutely the truth because you can lose money, you can lose your health, you can lose assets. But the whole thing is you don't want to lose your connections and those that connective tissue that we have among family, friends, and community. But this is an exciting movement that you have here. It really does look like a movement. It's not just a product.
No, it's not. We are really focused on also the mission of democratizing abundance, everyone, not just the young, but also those that are feeling isolated. Abundance is not just a financial, related word. You can have abundance sort of from a mental health perspective. And so for us, it is a movement. It is to democratize that sensation, that feeling of I have everything that I need. And I think we're a country that's blessed beyond measure, and we have the
Absolutely.
ability, to tap into the resources that are there. Some of us are not as privileged. And so what we want to do is make sure that people understand you have value right where you're at. Where no matter where you are, you have value, you have skills, and they can be utilized.
And if you just look at the power of the people in this room, not knowing them
Mhm.
whatsoever, never met them, maybe you never see them, as a humankind in this life, but at the same time, you can just feel the energy and just how they're all attentive and focused on what it is they're doing. I think that collective energy is what it is you're really tapping into, but not tapping into it so much is that you're magnifying that across the society.
That's part of really what we want to do, is expand this movement and make it an intercultural social capital, focus. Not just the same social networks getting together, but bringing people together from all walks of life that absolutely want to connect with each other and be supportive in community. And so we are starting the movement here in the United States, but we built a global platform so that we can connect with others around the globe and also skill share as well. And not just with other individuals, but also organizations and groups. So when I say we do want to be Visa-like, we are really trying to build a movement for the care economy to be very present and very known and also calculated.
Well, the whole thing about it, Karla, you're actually giving it a name, you're identifying it, the care economy. This is something that economists usually miss because they're trying to use a matrix that was developed for science and many exacting technologies. And most of this, even the economy, is based on emotions and people being connected more than a science. Because if it was purely a science, everybody would be multimillionaires, nobody would be poor, but it's not. It's about emotions, it's about human beings and our interactions. But one thing I noticed that your spelling is about as good as mine, so I find it very interesting to see your spelling throughout this. But this is really dynamic. But looking at Ying for help, what is that all about?
Okay, so the TaskRabbit element of the platform that I mentioned to you, this is our opportunity, right, to leverage a form that allows for you to fill out exactly what type of task you need help with. So if I'm a small business and I need someone just to help me sweep the front, that could be almost like a volunteer score, at the SBA, these wonderful individuals that volunteer for small businesses. We've set up something very, very similar. So you have the ability to essentially put up a task into the community, send it out on demand, very much like Uber or, any kind of Instacart or something you want to order. That task literally is going and hitting the phone, and they get a text alert that somebody is requesting their help. And so we've created an opportunity for, within your social networks, you have now the opportunity to ask for help and receive, in terms of payment, that time credit, and be able to circulate that around and pay it forward. So we're thrilled. That's what Ying for Help is all
So,
about.
so when you're saying paying, this could be in human energy, kindness, gifts in kind, whatever it may be. But it's really just
It,
helping others. I shouldn't say just, it's really helping others to leverage whatever assets they may have, even if it's just themselves, to move forward in the future. I just wanted to put up this
correct.
screenshot, maybe a little difficult for our viewers to see it, but we're going to go through three of these. Just tell me what we're looking at right here. And we got to be quick. We're running out of time.
Okay, so this is a wonderful objective that Stephen Jordan in the ISD-US has put together so that we can really start to focus on creating resiliency resources locally in communities for small businesses. So this is a pretty exciting, opportunity for all of our local municipalities to begin to reach out to ISD-US. So this is our partnership with Stephen to be that technology platform to help for small businesses locally.
That's absolutely fantastic. You got about 10 seconds. Where do you see Yang being in the next 5, 10, or 15 years? You got to be quick.
We want to be that next fintech company that shocks the world, and we truly become the Visa for the care economy.
Thank you, Karla Ballard Williams, CEO Ying, as we create the Emerald Planet.